High above the baked earth, just after the first pale light, a mottled flock drops like a soft tide toward a shimmering pool. Their feathers blur with dust, their wings whisper, and if you listen closely, you can almost tell which bird will settle first. This is the sandgrouse at dawn, small, unshowy, and carrying whole worlds of thirst in their flight. Before we go any closer, a quiet note for curious ears. Please do not approach or wade into waterholes. Observe from a respectful distance and never try to wet or handle these birds. Keep that care with you as we walk.
They belong to the family Tranquility, sandgrouse, scattered across arid plains, scrub, and sun-hardened slopes from Africa through parts of Asia. Imagine the scrub beneath your hands, hard, spiky, and oddly alive after a rare rain. The landscape is sparse, the water scarce, and the birds read the world by routes and rhythm, the long lines between nest and pool that stitch distant patches into one living map.
Life begins simply and openly for sandgrouse. Nests are shallow scrapes on the ground, sometimes shaded by a low bush, sometimes exposed to wind and sun. A clutch is small, 2 or 3 eggs, and parents are attentive in quiet, practical ways. The chicks hatch with a downy coat and a short, urgent life ahead, warmth, protection, and the learning of routes their parents will show them. There is tenderness here that doesn't need flourish, just steady, watchful care in an unforgiving place.
Growing up means learning roads of thirst. Young sandgrouse watch and follow older birds as they practice long flights to distant water, memorizing landmarks, an acacia, a ridge, the curve of a dry stream bed. The pressures are real but non-graphic, pools that shrink because of human extraction, herding dogs that chase at the fringes, and fragmentation of those thin threads that connect nest to water. Even so, resilience shows in patient repetition. A juvenile that misses a visit may learn the next day, guided by the rhythms others keep. One of the most remarkable daily routines is practical, even austere, the belly feather water carriage. Certain sandgrouse, often the males, soak specialized belly feathers at the pool. Those feathers trap droplets. The bird then flies home, and the chicks drink the water brought back to the nest. Picture a small, dust-streaked courier, wings beating long and steady, balancing the energy cost of that trip against the necessity of life at the nest. It is not a theatrical miracle, but an elegant adaptation, economy of movement for the sake of a single, vital resource.
Courtship and pairing here are tuned to the calendar of rain. When pulses of rainfall arrive, the landscape blooms in a spare, intense way, and sandgrouse time their displays and nesting to those windows of plenty. You may see soft aerial displays, short bursts of fluttering, or close approaches between partners, small, reliable rituals that form bonds and set the tempo for breeding. It is modest romance, not loud, but synchronized with the land's generosity. Beyond their nests and water trips, sandgrouse act as living connectors. By ferrying water and moving across the flats, they help link insect and seed patches, and their presence at a pool can be a barometer for landscape hydration. Where sandgrouse still make regular pilgrimages, you can often infer that ephemeral pools and the small life communities they support are holding together. In short, these birds quietly signal the health of a place.
Now, if you can, settle your shoulders and soften your breathing. I will leave a listening window of about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, 60 to 90 seconds, layered with desert ambience, distant wing beats, wind over gravel, the soft splash of water at a pool. Let the sound breathe around you. Notice the small details in the space beneath the birdsong. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out. And listen. If you joined that listening, thank you for giving the moment its quiet. A few practical stewardship notes before we close. Observe waterholes from a distance and follow local guidelines. Do not approach pools at dawn or dusk when birds are most vulnerable. Never attempt to wet or handle a bird to see the belly feathers in action. This practice harms both birds and people. If you feel moved to help, look up local pastoral associations, conservation groups, or community-led monitoring projects. Supporting local stewardship is the thoughtful, effective path. And in the show notes, you'll find vetted resources and links for safe viewing and regional contacts.
We began with a small flock at a sun-warmed pool, and we end with a quieter lesson. Routes of thirst teach us about connection. In that moment, we see nature's quiet wisdom, how sparse resources and steady habit can hold a landscape together. If this slow pilgrimage brought you calm or curiosity, check the show notes for safe viewing tips and links to local stewardship groups. Until next time, may your days find modest rhythms, and may the small wings you listen for carry you a little softer through the world.